we're actually going to consume together, inhale together with a rolled joint, and this what I have, this variety is called Vitality, and it has mullein, oat straw, red clover, and lemon balm. And so just grab one and pass it on. And so what my whole mission here is to change our relationship with smoking to be more of a sacred experience as opposed to just a habit. And so we're going to just I'll guide you through just a different way of consuming and lighting up than just mindlessly doing it, which we tend to do a lot. We do a lot of things mindlessly. There's some roll joints coming around. They have mullein, oat straw, lemon balm, and red clover. And so before you light up, I'm going to just guide you through the whole thing so that we can imbibe together and just learn about this experience of sacred smoking. So generally, I'm not a smoker. I've not smoked cigarettes in my life. I do enjoy cannabis quite a bit. I'm a cannabis coach. My name, I guess, it would be good to start with. My name is Therese Bowers, and I've been a cannabis coach for about 4 years. And so I guide people through a safe and effective relationship with cannabis, where it's therapeutic, or spiritual, or recreational, or adult use. And I don't tend to consume my cannabis through joints. It's not my preferred method. However, I was at a big event, a big cannabis event, and everybody was smoking joints, and I would have one, and they're on their third, and I'm done. And I'm like, I still want to imbibe with you, but I don't want any more cannabis. And so the idea of a herbal joint came, and so I rolled a joint and made it together with my daughter, and right away we were like, this is what we've been missing. We want the sacredness, we want the opportunity to smoke, but we want it to be healthy and to also bring our mindfulness into it. And so these are made with herbs from a lot from my garden, and then some from my mentor. So my very, very first cannabis mentor passed a while ago, and she passed along a lot of her herbs along to me. And so there's a lot of richness and magic in these joints, and so it's my honor to share them with you. So right from the get-go, when we're reaching for a joint or reaching for a smoke break, why do we do that? Generally, it's because we want a break. We want to step away from life for a bit, and that's kind of it, right? We have this addiction and we want to fill it. But when we look below the addiction, we're really craving this slowing down and this mindfulness and the ability to deep breathe, and we get to be out in nature. So I always envied my colleagues years ago when they would get a smoke break, and I didn't, because I didn't smoke. But they actually got to step away from their work, and they actually got to be outside and talk about things and create magic together. And so this is my way of giving this opportunity to have this sacredness, to have a smoke break, and now it's part of my afternoon ritual. I usually reserve 4:20 for 4:20 things. But before 4:20, if it's like 2 or 3 o'clock and I'm feeling a bit peakish and I'm just like, I need something to draw me away from the computer or draw me away from my work, and this is what is doing it for me. So I'm going to just guide you through how I do it, and then see what that experience is like for you. If you're used to smoking tobacco or cannabis, this is subtle. It's not going to hit you with that palm. And so just notice that, and I'll help guide us through that as well. So as you're lighting, we'll start right from lighting the joint. As you're lighting a herbal joint, usually you want to light it here, not here. Because if you light it here, sometimes it doesn't burn evenly. I know it works well for cigarettes and cannabis, but with the herbal smokes, we want it to light all the way around so that it burns nicely. So if you've got your joint, just start rolling. These are brand new, they're really stiff, until it catches. You'll also notice that the herbs burn really well, so you probably won't need to relight again as you're going. So on your first puff, take that first puff to get it going. And right away you might notice, oh, this is different. This is something different than what I'm used to. So as you begin inhaling, I want you to start paying attention to what's going on around us. Take a puff birds, the car, the rain, the sound of our lighter, the sounds of our cups, and just notice as you are inhaling. So this is our act of mindfulness. This is our act of stepping outside of the hustle and the bustle and whatever it is that we're consumed with to have this little break and to have this special time with this herb. So keep noticing what's outside of us. Often I like to look at the trees and just see, is there something new about the trees that I didn't notice last time? Maybe there's new buds. Maybe there's a new flower in where you're consuming that you didn't see before. Next, I want you to pay attention to how the smoke feels in your mouth as it's going into your body. What sensations do you notice? Do you notice a bit of relaxation in your shoulders? Do you notice a bit of heat in the back of your throat? Do you notice any flavor? What flavors are you noticing? Are you okay with that? And just kind of what's going on in your mouth. Can you pick out any of the flavors of the lemon balm or the red clover or the oat straw or the mullein? Can you notice any of that? Is it kind of just speaking to your taste buds? As you get closer to the end of your joint, you will notice that the taste magnifies. And so this is part of what happens even when we're smoking cannabis, is the terpenes start to compile at the end of the roach. And the same thing happens with the herbs. So you'll get a stronger flavor of the herbs the longer you're smoking it.
That's why it stays lit longer too, right? Because it's still burning all those oils.
Yes, yeah. It stays lit really, really well. So I want you to notice next is your breathing. As you are inhaling, you're actually taking a deep breath in, and as you're exhaling and expelling the smoke, you're doing breath work. But the smoke, the joint is helping you to regulate and to bring that nervous system back into your body. I notice a lot of calmness and peacefulness in my body. I also notice a bit of gratitude because it's herbs and it's plants that we're using to bring this nervous system regulation back into our body, the sacredness and this connection to nature. And it's chemical free. There's nothing chemical or artificial about this. I merely harvested the herbs, dried them, ground them, and rolled them in a piece of hemp paper.
Why do you make the little round at the end? How do you get that in there?
So I buy these cones. These are cones, so I'm not doing that work. No, I'm buying them already done. But my son, he's an amazing roller, and he does a 5-star roll, right, the whole thing. He just gets a piece of paper and a filter and can do it. I did not teach him that. He taught it himself.
Because you have to crimp it somehow if you do it, right?
Yeah, you've got to get it. You've got to get it just right.
So here's how you do it.
Yes.
Squeeze paper together, and then you take basically a battery eraser, the rubber erasers, and just push down on it after it's been crimped.
Oh.
And then you can kind of push it in. It's what they call a Dutch crown, and then you can.
Instead of just rolling it.
Yeah.
The end? That's the end?
The end.
Not the filter, though. He was talking about the filter.
Oh, the filter.
No,
Yeah.
I meant the end.
Oh, you meant the end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did do that.
Okay. I've never seen that.
I didn't do the filter, but I did do the end.
Well, I can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also noticed the end was very neatly folded.
As opposed to the twist.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
experimented with both, and the folded one just looked,
It was great.
it looked nice. So that's what we did.
Totally professional again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as you're maybe getting to the end, this is a great time to just bring up gratitude within your being. And really express that and feel that. And what does the gratitude feel like? And when I'm smoking in the sun, it's usually towards the sun because I love to have the sun shining down on me. I love to feel that warm. So I'm grateful for the sun. I'll often be imbibing in the garden, so I'm looking at my plants, and I'm grateful for the soil. that is growing the plants, and I'm grateful for the harvest that's going to come. On my deck, there's often birds, and so they'll come and hang out with me. So I'm grateful for the birds and the chirping, and they're eating and they're drinking and they're just going about their way and showing me, come on in, come on in. They're showing me how to rely on nature for my needs, as opposed to the hustle and the bustle.
So there's a camera there. I don't want to get in front of your camera.
Do you want to slide down a touch? Is there room? So these are herbal joints.
Oh, okay.
So they have, and here's a lighter.
Thank you.
They have mullein, oat
Oh.
straw,
Oh, wow.
red clover, and lemon balm in them.
Oh,
So tell me what that experience was like for you. How did it feel in your body to have that smoke coming in and to be a bit more mindful about the consumption? Are you going to carry that? I'll pull it
I've
and
had
you can carry it. Once your smoke is extinguished, you can throw it into the pouch here, and then I'll dispose of them from buddies. So what does that feel like
so
to
she's got a camera.
you? What does it feel
That's
like
what
in
we
your
were
body?
scooching this way. Oh, am I in it? Oh,
I noticed the smoke was much lighter.
yeah.
It's not as hot either.
Yeah.
I didn't find the heat overwhelming.
I felt guilt-free.
Guilt-free. Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no limit. There's no addictive qualities
Exactly.
in this. Yeah. Other than the tuning in and the opportunity to have a break and to be peaceful within your body.
It had a really nice taste.
Mm.
Like, it felt like I was addicted to smoking cigarettes when I was young. Because I learned behind the barn with my brother when I was 14. And I wish I'd have had one of those then when I didn't want to smoke. And it was hard to quit, and I was always wanting it. And then when I had it this afternoon, it felt like it used to. But, and all those things you described, like having the break from everything. And it's nice.
You can also, if you're wanting a little bit of cannabis or tobacco as well, you can mix them together, and then have that elevated experience as well. But those herbs are going to also help with soothing your throat and offsetting a bit of the cannabis. So you can kind of work with just all herbs or incorporating it into with cannabis.
Is there a reason that you chose like the specific herbs to like combine together, or are there other combinations that make you feel different things, or is there kind of like well, there is a science to it, but like, is there a particular reason that drew you to those things?
So I have 4 different varieties right now.
Yes.
And they all just kind of came to me as, try this.
Yeah.
So there was no science to me crafting it, but more intuitively, like what would it be like if I mixed? It was just witch's brew, right?
Right.
Let's throw this in, see what it feels like. I also did research on the different herbs to see, are they smokable? What are their benefits? What do they add to the formula? And so this one in particular, oat straw, is talked about like wandering through a meadow of herbs and getting that sense of being in nature. Red clover is good for anti-inflammatory benefits, and so I wanted that, and also for the flavor I wanted that. Lemon balm has a slight etherical feel to it, so slight psychoactive, not psychoactive, but just like, I didn't smoke cannabis, but I'm feeling something. And it's just this gentle upliftingness. Yes. And so, so lemon balm is in 2 of my formulas, because it has that little bit of like, just a little bit of something to switch us into a different mode. I also grow lemon balm, and so I also was trying to bring in herbs that are plentiful from in my garden.
Gives it a nice flavor.
There are other herbs that have other great supports. So rose is really good if you're trying to get off of nicotine. It can help with the depression and can help with the nicotine cravings. Something like damenia, thank you, is really good for cigarette smoking cessation. And so I've just ordered that herb. I don't grow it, so that's one I have ordered, and I will be making that blend as well, probably combining that with rose also. So if you're trying to get off of cigarettes, then there's herbs that can be helpful for that. Yeah. And what else? So lavender is in one of the varieties as well because of its calming and soothing nature as well. I mean, you all know what lavender does. It helps us to be more peaceful within the body. It can also help us with sleep. So a lot of the herbs are really just grounding and calming. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That's what we need most right now in life, is we need to balance our nervous systems. We need to ground ourselves. And so that's kind of the herbs, the bend on where I go with those. I usually always include mullein or marshmallow or both because of how that coats the throat and helps with the ease of the smoke, offsets the smoke feel. And so it reduces irritation to the respiratory system. Not as much. No, I do notice a little bit, but I have a little roach clip that a friend's made, and so I do like to use the clips to keep it off of my hands, the smoke off my hands. But it certainly isn't as powerful as others. What have you got? Thank you.
I think that the habit of cigarettes, like, this action is very habit.
Yes.
That's the thing. One thing about the cigarettes, it's like that little, with your ash.
And that feeling when it goes.
Inhale and exhale. Promotes deep breaths.
Yes.
So then you actually feel better.
That's right. It's the secrets behind this habit, and the secrets that are actually good for us. That's what we're longing for.
And being in a circle of
Yes.
people that are all kind of in this, knowing we're interested in the same kind of thing a little bit,
Yes.
and
That's
usually maybe with a fire and
Yes.
some drinks.
Totally. Yeah.
So then it doesn't have to be a cigarette, but a manufactured cigarette. But I like growing tobacco.
Me too.
It's a beautiful herb
It is.
plant,
It really is.
and there's a little of that in there.
Yes.
I call it powwow,
Yes.
and it's not. You save it for a special occasion,
Yeah.
or sometimes in the morning with a coffee. Like, it's actually really good.
Yes.
So powwow is actually not that bad. But it's the cigarettes that you buy that are
Yes.
full of everything. That's
Yeah.
And who's getting rich and all that.
Yeah.
They're so easy to grow.
Yes. Exactly. I have no idea what time it is. How much time we have left?
It's
1:30.
129.
Okay. All right. So I have got a minute. So I want to also tell you about other circles that I hold, sacred cannabis circles. Ceremonies is what they're called, and we do generally meet in a circle, and I guide you through a really amazing experience with the cannabis plant. So we inhale together like this, and then I open up the channel to the divine, and then the divine offers teachings, guidances, groundings, meditations, whatever it is. Every ceremony is a little bit different. And so that's something that I've offered to the community. And right now through the summer, I'm offering to groups. So you have me in with your friends, maybe outside around a fire, if fire is okay. And we have a cannabis ceremony together. And it's transformative, and it's been memorable. And it's a really cool way to work with cannabis in a new way. This is something that I'd like to do too. Sacred circles with herbs too. But having the cannabis, we do like to be high for a sacred ceremony because we can access different areas of the brain, and our thinking critical brain tends to quiet down so that we're more receptive to new messages and teachings that come through. So that's another option as well. I want to also point out this: if you want to have a guide for yourself, a sacred smoking guide, I have a QR code here that can go right to your email, and you're welcome to a copy of that as well. And,
Definitely.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Will the QR code bring us to your information?
it will just bring you to the guide, but then it will get you onto the newsletter list. I should have brought some business cards. I've got business cards over at my right by the door.
You gonna take a picture? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you
So
do it?
emails,
Just
just
put it
being on the
on
email
camera.
list. Yeah.
And then you'll get it there.
So I
You'll
can
touch
get all
the
of your
screen. And then
Yeah. No. Well, to get onto here, you need
little
the QR
thing
code.
comes up and then it. Hit it.
Yeah, my card just has my website, my main website, which is my first name, Therese.ca, Therese.ca. And all of these, so the sacred smoking is a new aspect to my business, so there isn't a lot on my website yet about sacred smoking. I'm due for an update. But you'll at least get, yeah, contact me.
Oh.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Camera and then
Probably not.
you get a banner
No.
across the top.
Let's see.
Well,